In the bustling city of New York, the sights and sounds of daily life never seemed to cease. Amongst the chaos, there was one man named Thomas who lived a solitary and unassuming life. He went about his days working as a clerk in a small bookstore, barely noticeable to those around him. One rainy afternoon, as Thomas was walking home from work, a sudden gust of wind blew a piece of paper right into his path. Curious, he picked it up and saw that it was a faded flyer for a local church event happening that weekend. Intrigued by the coincidence, Thomas decided to attend the event, feeling a strange pull towards something greater than himself. As he walked through the doors of the church, Thomas was struck by a sense of peace and tranquility that he had never experienced before. The dimly lit interior seemed to beckon him forward, and he found himself drawn towards an altar bathed in a soft, ethereal light. Without hesitation, he dropped to his knees and whispered a heartfelt prayer, pouring out his innermost hopes and fears to a power he could not fully comprehend. In that moment, something shifted within Thomas. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a world beyond the mundane reality he had always known. He felt a sense of clarity and purpose washing over him, guiding him towards a path he had never dared to tread before. Days turned into weeks, and Thomas found himself inexplicably drawn back to the church, seeking solace and answers in the quiet embrace of its walls. He began to notice small miracles happening in his life, a kind word from a stranger, a stroke of luck at work, a newfound sense of inner peace that seemed to radiate outwards. It was during one particularly dark night, as Thomas sat alone in the church, wrestling with his inner demons, that he felt a presence unlike anything he had ever known. A soft voice filled the empty space around him, whispering words of comfort and strength, assuring him that he was never truly alone. With tears streaming down his face, Thomas opened his heart fully to the divine intervention that had touched his life in ways he could never have imagined. In that moment of surrender, he felt a deep sense of connection to something greater than himself, a force of love and compassion that transcended all understanding. From that day onwards, Thomas walked through life with a newfound sense of purpose and faith, knowing that he was guided and protected by a power beyond his wildest dreams. And though the world around him continued to swirl in chaos and uncertainty, he remained steadfast in his belief that divine intervention would always be there to light his way.